Quote by Steve Jobs: "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." Hi, my name is Mike Gavarecci, your host for this program called America Arbor of Hope. Today is our fifth episode of an acronym I came up for America. I will go over letter I, which stands for innovation. This is one of my favorite subjects. I consider myself innovator. So without more ado, let me start with definition of what is innovation. According to Wikipedia, innovation is the practical implementation of ideas that result in the introduction of new goods or services. So, why do we innovate? Feelings of fear, greed, love, ego, ambition, and necessity all play a role in this process. But fundamentally, we innovate to solve problems that urge to do something to move the narrative of human progress forward by trying new things. As old sayings says, is necessity mother of all invention. Necessity and need makes us to think differently enough to create and innovate to fulfill and satisfy our needs and necessities. So I came up with a bunch of questions. What is a culture of innovation? It is an environment that supports creative thinking and advances effort to extract economic and social value from knowledge, and in doing so, generates new or improved products and services. I believe invention, creativity, and innovation are all integrated and connected closely. How much capitalism impacts invention and creativity? People invent for a variety of reasons. Some invent in order to meet basic human needs. Some invent to fulfill their own creative desires. Many inventions and innovations are inspired by social and economic reasons. In capitalist society, some say it is true that on average it is more innovation than a system of state control. Capitalism creates the incentives for innovation by ensuring that part of the rewards of improved products or services go to the innovator. How much freedom and democracy impacts innovation? According to Global Innovation Index, innovation can be affected by the level of political and individual freedoms in any individual country. The index compared innovation capabilities of 142 countries by using 84 indicators such as quality of higher education, availability of venture capital, government support, and individual freedom and democracy. The top of the ranking was heavily populated by countries representing established democracy, and reverse was true with countries with an extremely low level of democratic values. United States is ranked number 3 in the world in terms of innovation according to this index. So, America has been a hotbed of innovation since its founding. A little history. According to historian, on September 5th, 1787, at the Constitutional Convention, based on earlier discussions, the Committee of Detailed proposed that Congress have the power to promote the progress of science and useful arts by serving for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. 2 weeks later, this intellectual property clause passed unanimously. In January of 1790, President George Washington urged Congress the passage of a patent law that would bring the clause into practice. The law was passed, and the first patent was issued by August of 1790. There is no doubt that the consensus of America's founders was that the government should promote innovation. So government over the years became part investor on so many inventions and innovations within different industries like interstate commerce, transportation network, electric telegraphy, and much, much more. From the 18th century to today, waves of immigration have brought people and ideas into close contact, which resulted to produce an American style of innovation unlike any other country. The United States became global leader in research and development by public and private spending. In fact, government was an initial large purchaser for still experimental inventions in electrical and biomedicine and more. After World War II, a large middle class emerged that was able to buy and demand innovative products and services. Virtually all of the breakthrough innovations like transistors, semiconductors, computers, software, biotech, satellites, and more was emerged in US. Furthermore, over the years in America, we have developed culture of willing to take risks, high tolerance of failures, structural support for intellectual property, open source society, which I think is very critical for our society, prestigious universities, financial resources like venture capital, to public stock offering resulted in more inventions and innovations. Innovation is how I came up with an acronym for America. There is much more to say about this subject, but because of time, we end this episode with another quote by Albert Einstein. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Thank you for watching another episode of America Arbor of Hope. See you next time.